Hey, what's up, everybody? So, man, this is a video that I'm going to do, and it's a different kind of video. It's entitled Bands, Labels, and Publishers Actually Told Me What They Think of Reactions. It's going to be very interesting. First, I want to give a shout out and a thanks to Evelyn. Evelyn sent me this the other day, and she said that, yeah, in answer to your question about why some of your Led Zeppelin reactions especially are being unpublished all of a sudden without explanation, maybe it has something to do with what's in the content of this particular presentation by this guy. So let's check it out, man. It'll be really interesting. So, bands, labels, publishers actually told me what they think of reactions. Let's get it.
Over the past couple months, I've been working on getting information for the content for this specific video. And now that I'm sitting down to actually film it, I feel like it couldn't have come at a better time, because in the last 24 hours alone, reaction channels and reaction videos in general have been a huge hot topic on YouTube, man. We've gotten a video from Finn McKenty from the Punk Rock MBA talking about how he thinks 99% of reaction channels are trash content. We got a rebuttal to that from Metal Burb, and then we got a video from Nick Nocturnal talking about reactions. And to be honest, this isn't a new conversation, man. Reaction channels have been a highly polarizing subject ever since I started doing them about a year and a half ago, and probably before that. A lot of people that don't like reactions think this is just mindless, soulless content where content creators are ripping off the works of others and just putting it out there for clicks and stuff like that. And then there are other people that love reactions because they get to discover new music through other people. But when I really sat down and thought about this, I was like, what do the actual bands and record labels and their publishers think about reaction videos? All of these other people are talking about it, but what do the people who are actually putting out the source material think about all of this? Well, today I'm going to tell you, because I've got direct quotes and answers from bands, record labels, and publishers about what they think about the reaction scene in general. So in today's video, this is barely going to be any of my opinion. You've already heard enough about it. Today, I'm just going to throw up direct quotes from those sources so we can actually see what they think about it. For the first part of this video, I want to talk about the record labels and what they think about reaction channels. Now, the record labels are the homes for the bands, and the important thing to remember is that record labels are not the ones that are directly enforcing copyright claims on reaction videos. That's the publisher, who we'll talk about later. Now, most copyright claims come from the YouTube algorithm automatically, which scans videos for copywritten material. Then it's up to the publisher to enforce those claims. They can also manually claim them if they weren't automatically tagged. But the record label does have a lot of say in the matter. They can tell their publisher to back off of claims and have them removed from certain videos. On the flip side of that, they could also have them manually claim videos if they want to. But for this video, I got a hold of 12 different record labels with a couple simple questions and let them give me some quotes if they wanted to. Now, 10 of those labels got back to me. One of them didn't. And the other one said, respectfully, we'd like to not get involved just to stay neutral to the argument, which is totally fine. But out of those 10 that got back to me, in terms of the question, do you think reaction channels help bands? All 10 of them said yes. And then on the second question, do you think reaction channels help the music industry in general? All 10 of them also said yes. And a few of them gave me some direct quotes to include in this video. And just for honesty and full transparency, some of the quotes that I'm gonna read in this video were shortened a little bit just because we had way lengthier conversations than the stuff that they wanted me to include. But I do have copies of all of this stuff. So if anybody doubts the validity of any of this, I do have proof from these quotes, And I actually think that most of these labels would probably tell you that yes, they said this stuff anyways. So when asked, what do you personally think about reaction videos and reaction channels, Sydney Weiss, who handles promotion, marketing, and socials for AFM Records, says, "It's basically a new way of promotion, which I dig personally. I like to be drawn deeper into music, lyrics, gear, or whatever by a reaction that makes me aware of something new in a song. It also depends on the quality of the respective reactor/channel. I think that there is a lot of crap going on, but if the person really has to add something unique and interesting to the song, or the interpretation of it, or explains anything memorable and interesting, maybe useful to people who sing, who learn production, who don't know much about instruments, it really helps, and due to a good working channel based on successful key audience strategies, you can see great results as a label. I personally really like them and spend nights watching people listen to metal songs I like, and sometimes stumble over songs I never heard before. That is great fun. It's either now or sooner or later becoming really essential help for labels to promote and release singles." Randy Ray, the owner of Seek and Strike Records, says, "The landscape is constantly changing in this industry, but the passion behind the music/art has not gone anywhere. The metal community is very tight, and I think reaction videos open that door to widen the community and, most importantly, connect people. We've heard about a lot of great upcoming bands from the community hyping it up online. Before, it was magazines, then MySpace Metal, Pure Volume, other metal music sites, etc., etc., etc. Right now, it's all about utilizing socials, including YouTube, to help generate as much exposure for your bands. What struggling industry types need to realize is that you need to go to where the fans are, not where they used to be or even where you want them to be. Reactions are a fun way to share and enjoy music with people that are also passionate about the same music we are. It's also a great way to learn about upcoming new bands." Now, this next one's kind of a long one, but considering the source and the content and the subject matter, we're just going to include all of it. Dennis Mall, who is an A&R rep at Century Media Records, says, "To me, reaction videos are the modern form of music journalism, especially in metal, where the fans have a very strong relationship to their genre and are actively spending time discovering new bands and want to dive into music deeper than a standard mainstream pop fan, for example. Back in the days, a journalist would write a review in a magazine. Nowadays, it's reactors that review and analyze new music on YouTube. It's also very interesting to see how the reactors specialize themselves into certain directions and focus on talking about different things in those videos. This adds a massive value to the music and explains a lot of details and insider information to the audience they've probably never ever known. Also, from a marketing perspective, it's that reaction videos have more or less replaced print magazines. Especially in rock and metal, where we do not have the attention of mainstream media outlets, reaction videos are one of the most important factors to drive the scene to new music and new bands. The great success of some songs we've released recently were based on reaction videos. I remember when we released Eskimo Callboy's Hypa Hypa. It seemed like for weeks nothing else had been uploaded on YouTube other than Hypa Hypa reaction videos, and all of a sudden the numbers exploded everywhere. I don't think that there is any reaction channel in any genre that has not reviewed Hypa Hypa. Another example I would like to mention here is To the Hellfire by Lorna Shore. The YouTube reaction scene is the most important factor that this song blew up like it did, and it's these guys who have helped in bringing this band on another level. It's also very interesting to see YouTube reactions merging into TikTok. Nick Nocturnal's reaction on Lorna Shore's breakdown has almost 5 million views and generated a new trend on TikTok, and we've established the hashtag Lorna Shore Challenge. All in all, we are very happy to see the development of the YouTube reaction scene, and we really appreciate the hard work and the research YouTube reactors put into their videos, and we really enjoy working together with them closely. Our next one is coming from somebody that wished to remain anonymous, and for me to state that this is their personal view and doesn't necessarily reflect the label that they work for, but they were happy to allow me to say that they are from Sumerian Records. And they say, I personally think reaction videos are fun, entertaining, and very beneficial to an artist's outreach when done correctly. Like any category though, it is getting a little oversaturated. So I just think aspiring reactors need to find their own niche and run with it to be unique and stand out.
True.
Don't need to have insane production or even a ton of music knowledge to do this. Just make sure your opinion is well-rounded, do your research, and be yourself. Your audience can always tell the difference between real passion and faking it to hop on the trend. And finally, Vince Edwards, the director of content and radio promotions at Metal Blade Records, says, streamers/reaction channels are functionally our new TV. They're talk shows. Anyone that diminishes the amount of work a streamer has to do is a clueless knucklehead. Reaction videos help. Why? Streamers/YouTubers are friggin' tastemakers. Someone fans know to trust with tastes and preferences. Reaction isn't even that great of a word. Functionally, it's more of an analysis, and each reaction will have its own flavor. Is that streamer a musician, a vocalist, an enthusiast of some import? Streamers are TV hosts that don't have to bend to the will of corporate oversight for programming. Anyone that's worked in TV will tell you the final call is largely out of the hands of the creatives. Not anymore. I love Key of Jeebs, The Charismatic Voice, Cardavox Academy, all great channels with unique takes on music. The level of analysis from enthusiasts/experts in an audio-visual format is hard to beat for music fans. It's interesting to me to know why someone like Devin Townsend is incredible, or hear from a composer on what they think the band must have been trying to accomplish with a specific arrangement. For me as a drummer, that's more interesting and engaging than the written word in a lot of cases. So while that was a pretty small pool of quotes and responses from record labels, as you can see, they approve of this stuff, man, and I think we're starting to see kind of a change in that lately. When I first started doing reactions a year and a half ago, I had no contact with any of these labels at all.
3.5 years, baby.
All my videos were getting copyrights. I didn't get approval from anybody on anything. Now, within the last 6 months, all of these labels are happy to see reactions going up, and I think that's just going to keep continuing in the future. Now, moving on to the bands portion of this video. To be honest, I think we all already know what this is going to be. We already know that bands love reaction videos. We see them reposting them and sharing them and commenting on people's channels. But to keep it fair, I reached out to 20 different bands and I ended up hearing back from 16 of them. 4 of them I didn't hear back from or said they were going to get back to me and didn't, but hey, I understand. People are busy. They got a career to run, man. So when asked, do you think reaction channels and reaction videos help bands? All 16 of these bands, surprise, surprise, all said yes. And when asking them, do you think reaction channels and reaction videos help the music industry in general? Again, all 16 of them said yes. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from some of these bands. When asked, what do you personally think about reaction videos? Hans Plotz, the guitarist for Feuerschwanz and the Dark Side of the Moon, says, I love reaction videos. They're fun to watch, especially those with more background infos like yours or the Charismatic Voice, and they help a lot to reach a new audience. For Feuerschwanz, it's a good way to reach listeners outside of German-speaking countries. For Dark Side of the Moon, it's great to get the band known, which is important for a new band. Vicky Sarakis from The Agonist says, I absolutely love watching good reaction videos simply because of the genuine human emotion that goes into them. Research and analysis are always an added bonus, but I can't help but get all sentimental when I see someone respond positively to my music. Nanowar of Steel says, and I wouldn't expect anything less from these guys, we like reaction videos, especially some bands whose names start with N and ends with Nanowar of Steel. Also, reaction videos on YouTube are great. We think they are so amazing that we left our job as musicians and turned into full-time reactors ourselves. When asked about his thoughts on reactions, Grant Truesdell, the guitarist of Unleash the Archers, says, reaction channels have been blowing up on YouTube and exposing so many new fans to bands. I've experienced this firsthand. I have many people coming up to me saying they found out about our band because of a reaction channel. I think reaction channels have developed themselves into free marketing for bands and labels alike. What could be bad about spreading the good word of music to the people? As a musician, you want to get out to the public as many ways as you can, and reaction channels are only helping spread the word. I love them as a fan and as a musician. I watch reaction videos on my own band as well as others. It helps give me insight to how our music makes people feel, what's working and what's not. It exposes me to music I may never have found without reaction channels. And there are some incredible reaction channels out there that provide insight about the music that even I, as a professional musician, didn't even pick up. UK-based rock band Casket says, "We definitely think that reaction videos help bands, especially smaller bands, as if a reactor has a dedicated following or is known for reviewing a certain style of music. You could be watching them as you enjoy how they react and their content and stumble upon a band or song that you otherwise wouldn't have found. It's also great content to post about and helps give your band more credibility and find new fans. Bands are always going to appreciate people taking the time to review their music, and it's a new way of promoting yourself to help get your band bigger, and that can only benefit the music industry moving forward. Overall, we as a band and as individuals love reaction videos. It's a highlight for us when releasing music that there will be a wave of new and familiar faces reacting to our music. We like that they are all different, and we appreciate the effort and enthusiasm that gets put into them." All the way from Finland, Blind Channel says, "We think YouTube reaction videos are a very modern and fresh way to promo the band/music and the YouTube creator's channel itself. It's basically a win-win situation for everybody. Many bands, like us, have found a tons of new audience with great reactions. We think it's something that should be done more. People clearly want to see that kind of content, and it really gives a new perspective for the audience while enjoying some new music. It's also pure promo for any new release, so for sure it's good for the industry overall. We think it's one of the best things happening in YouTube scene right now. It's growing all the time, and we've told to our label that reaction videos are becoming super important. For sure, there are many channels doing reactions, so it's hard to give attention to everyone, but we try our best." Diamond Rowe, the guitarist for Tetrarch, says, "I truly feel that reaction videos can be a positive thing for artists. I'm a firm believer that anything circulating awareness about a band or artist can be a good thing. Coming from someone in a band on the rise, reaction videos lead new eyes and ears to music that they may have never heard of, and hearing the opinion of someone that they admire can have heavy influence, especially if it's a good and positive reaction. I'll be honest, when reaction videos first started to appear, I was not convinced. It wasn't until I started watching the ones on my own band that I understood their benefit and relevance. Just as the artist, it is really cool to hear directly from someone their thoughts on your music, the things that they like or don't like, etc. You really get to hear it from a direct perspective that wouldn't be so easily available without them. There's also nothing like watching someone get hyped to something you've created. It's really rewarding." Nicholas Carlson, vocalist, guitarist, and founding member of Sweden's very own Orbit Culture, says, "Without the help from YouTube reactors, I can promise you that we would be a much smaller band right now. Surely, internet in general has helped us tremendously, especially during a pandemic where we were not able to do any shows. I do, however, believe people are more likely to engage in reaction videos and sharing the joy compared to reading an article about a release or similar and then just go on with it. I hope that labels get that. There will always be reactors who are only in it for the clicks, and same goes for artists. We just have to find the right reactors and bands to create the best community possible, because that is what it is in the end, a community between the fans, the band, and the reactor who hopefully and pretty often becomes a fan. I personally love most reactions. I find it very interesting and joyful to see people's reaction to something that you've been working on for a long time. Even the ones who hate your music is pretty hilarious too. At least they reacted to it and said something longer about what they liked or didn't like, compared to some who just put something on and record and then just go, okay, that was cool, see you next time." And finally, Eskimo Callboy vocalist Kevin Ratajczak says, Reaction videos themselves have gotten so big and everybody watches them, and I think people like reaction videos so much because it's the speed that people want to consume information. And with reaction videos, you can consume 2 videos at once. From your favorite person on YouTube, the reactor, watching some video that you may know or not know. And this adds up to a completely new social network that was built by reactors because it brings together so many different genres and communities. This helped us a lot with Hypa Hypa, and now labels and bands intentionally choose reactors to be their marketing instrument. For example, it's like a festival. At a festival, there are more than just your fans in the crowd. There are a lot of people that don't know about your band, but get to know your band. So if there's a crowd that is into reactions, they get aware of your band, and we totally love reaction videos for that. There is one big reason I like reaction videos. I'm thankful for being able to connect to new people. It allows us to connect to people not only on the business side. After we did our videos with you, we talked for many minutes, and this is why it works so much better than with other things. If you like each other, it's more than just business. So, as you can see, at least from the small pool of bands that I talk to, unanimously in favor of reaction channels. They seem to see a big benefit in it for their band, for the marketing and exposure and stuff like that. And you could make the argument that they mostly said positive stuff because I've interacted with a lot of them and they knew this was going to be in a video, but this is what they chose to put on here, so this is what we have to go off of. Now moving on to the final part of this video, the publishers. And I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be pretty short, and I expected it to be, man. I didn't really expect to get a lot of responses from this because the publishers don't really have direct involvement with what the bands are doing on a day-to-day basis. The publishers distribute the music and maintain and uphold copyrights and make sure that the bands are getting royalties where their material is being used. So I didn't expect to hear back from any publishers, and I really didn't. I reached out to 5 of them, 4 of them I didn't hear back from, and 1 of them said, we would not like to be involved because we feel our opinion doesn't matter on this subject. So there you have it. But to wrap up this video, man, I hope you guys enjoyed getting a little peek at what bands and labels and publishers, well, not really the publishers, but you know what I'm saying. I hope you enjoyed seeing what they think about some of these reaction videos and channels. But regardless, this discussion will continue. There's going to be people that love reaction videos. There's going to be people that hate it and think it's trash and stealing content and stuff like that. But this reminds me of how Let's Play videos started way back in the day. There was people that said, that's mindless garbage. It's just a person playing a video game and commenting on it. But look at it now. Let's Play videos are huge. There are people making careers off of Let's Play videos and streaming on Twitch. And I think you're going to see reaction channels become a permanent mainstay on YouTube very soon. And in my opinion, you're already starting to see it, man. Oh, yeah. Some of these channels come and go, but there are channels that have already developed a huge presence on YouTube that I don't see going anywhere anytime soon. And as long as they're there, you know bands and labels are going to continue working with them for marketing, for their material. But since this video was more about their opinions and not mine, I'm going to end here. Thank you guys very much. If you want to hear more or discuss more with me, you can drop a comment or join us on social media, man. I've got a Discord server that a lot of us hang out on often. I stream pretty regularly on Twitch. And if you're interested in any of that stuff, I'll throw links in the description below. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that under the handle @TankTheTech. But thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see y'all very soon for another reaction video.
Tank the Tech. That was really, really well done. That was excellent. Good research, man. It took a lot of time to organize himself, approach, sort, and all of that stuff. So hey, good for you, brother. I'm definitely going to give you a like and a subscription. So there you have it, folks. That is where we stand where it comes to the perspectives of certain people, their attitude towards reaction channels and things of that sort. You know, I've got my own perspective on it. when I first had the idea in my head to start a reaction channel, it first came about by way of me considering doing reactions to movies, TV shows, previews and stuff like that, like a lot of reactors were doing, and I subscribed to a couple of them. But I said to myself that for me, it's more suited that I would want to actually do some reactions to music. And so when I saw that there was a way to do that, I thought fantastic. So I did a little research, got in touch with Pink Metalhead and asked her how she's doing it and that sort of thing. And I thought that I was going to be one of the very, very first doing this shit, unknowns to me that there's already hundreds of people, especially a lot of black reactors, doing reactions to classic rock music. So I was like, holy cow, wow. Well, that's how I decided to do my channel. What I decided to do, unlike a lot of other channels, was to approach it in a very structured way, because it's very, very important for me to edify myself as to how the music is made, why it's made, what's the motivation, what was the atmosphere, how was the artist created, how did they get that inclination, the perspective, all of that sort of thing. So I said that I'm going to base my reactions around a little bit of research in the mix. And it's just a matter of Wikipedia, boom, right? And Wikipedia can teach you a whole shit ton of stuff right away. So I formulated my channel around Wikipedia. And from there, I can get a little bit of a different perspective, some background, and then throw my own in the mix there. So it isn't just about me. You're not just tuning in to see me react and bob my head and all that sort of thing. That works for some reactors. It just isn't my style, right? And so I knew that I had to offer you something a little bit different in the way of how I reacted, because this is more based on a review perspective than a reaction. I use the word reaction loosely only because I'm doing it in real time, right? But I'm not a reactor in a sense, and of course, you guys already know the history of so many people hitting me up. Oh man, you aren't reacting. Where's the reaction? There's no such thing as a reaction where it comes to you, dude. No, I'm not a reactor. I'm a reviewer. But, the word reaction fits me in a certain category, and you know what to expect where format is concerned. So this is a great, great presentation, and I'm glad to see that there's momentum and movement going towards helping a lot of artists, especially newer artists, get notification. But now also established artists, becoming aware. Like a lot of reactors, like I said, especially black reactors, we were brought up with a different genre and in a different environment. And I always describe classic rock as that great neighbor just across the street. You always wave to them, they wave back at you, and you never cross the street to extend your hand. Why? You know what I'm saying? So that's metaphorically how I describe classic rock. It's always been around, but I never really engaged it. I never embraced it until I saw the platform of the reaction channel being a way to finally do that, because I kept saying to myself, one day I'm going to look into Eric Clapton more. One day I'm going to check out this more, that more, this more. And that one day just turned into years and decades. And so finally, I saw this opportunity and I got off my ass and I decided to start a reaction channel, which was fantastic. And I'm glad that there is a little bit of a pocket where I could actually expose the music of the new artist and the established artist. And the established artists get a lot of notoriety too. For example, I heard the song before, but I never knew who the artist was that actually performed the song. And this happens with a lot of, let's say, classic rock songs. Stranglehold is a great example of that. I've heard that song before, but I didn't know that it was performed by Ted Nugent. And speaking about Ted, Uncle Ted, the brother posted my reactions, 2 of my reactions, onto his Facebook, right? And so it just goes to show that even great legends of rock like Ted appreciate reaction channels. Someone was telling me that Jeff Buckley's friend had given me an honorable mention for me covering Jeff Buckley and Tim Buckley content. And so, and you have stories like that. I actually got hit up by Daryl Hance, JJ Grey and Mofro fame, and now he's a solo person, so I did a couple of spotlights on him. So, you know, a lot of the established talent and the new talent like this guy was showcasing really has appreciation for the exposure, and I can see it becoming bigger and bigger, right? Yeah, and the YouTube reaction force, they're spreading out. They're going to TikTok, they're going to different platforms. So I can see a lot of people starting up something on maybe Facebook or some of the different platforms. So it's spreading out, man, and it's going. And just like the British invasion, when you had an upstart and a burst of all of these different people, coming and showcasing, eventually it's going to taper down to the real reactors. What do I mean? After the boom of the British invasion, what settled after that? The Stones, the Beatles, the Who. What did those guys have in common? They were the real shit. They could write their own material. They weren't a flash in a pan. They weren't a fad. They were the real shit. They were there to stay for a long, long time, right? Where it comes to reactors, you've got your reactors who, treat it like the guy was saying, just for clicks, just for this, just for that, hopping on the bandwagon, and they have no intention of really researching the music, really appreciating the background, really appreciating this or that. And like I said, everyone's got their own way, and it's all good. Exposure is a good thing, but you're going to have certain reaction channels that'll be around for a really, really long time, and they're the real shit. They're the real thing, and they are not just there for just entertainment value alone. There are a lot of people who are there just to be entertained, and I understand that, but there is a lot more to it. And like this guy said, you've got to find your respective reactor, the one that you identify with the most, that you relate to the most, and that you have something in common that binds you the most, because there are thousands of reactors out there. Every single day there's more and more and more. But and it's all good overall for the music industry and the exposure. But I see a lot of reactors as well only reacting to the more popular things. They are not doing full album reactions. They are not going into remote areas and giving different things a chance, local artists, stuff like that. Amy Brooks is one of my longtime subscribers and patrons. I just gave her a feature, and Daryl Hance I mentioned again. So you are only seeing the established stars on a lot of reaction channels. What I would like to see down the road where reaction channels are concerned is basically just checking out a whole different body of artists, giving newer artists a really, really good platform. And I mentioned in this reaction that someone actually approached me and said, hey, listen, I would love to have you give me and my band the Led Zeppelin treatment, and that would be a really great showcase of what we can do and a good exposure to this and this and this. And then being a YouTuber, you can maybe share the links and all that stuff and spread it out across YouTube. That would be really cool. And it's a good idea, and they're willing to pay me and all of that sort of thing. But I had to gracefully decline, one, because I don't have the time to do that at the moment. But two, to be honest with you, I didn't really feel connected to their music. I really, to say that I didn't like it is saying it too harshly, but I didn't feel connected. I didn't have enthusiasm, and I'm just not going to promote something just for the sake of getting paid, or just for the sake of it's just giving me content for my channel so that I can get more clicks and this and this and this. No, man. So I gracefully, respectfully said no. I don't feel, but if I feel that way about someone else, I would do that. Like, go back to Daryl Hans. I like every single thing that brother has done so far. I believe it's 3 albums. Check out my Daryl Hans reactions, full album reactions on my Beyond channel. I would give that dude the Led Zeppelin treatment. So it's something where you gotta feel it, right? And for me, and again, there's no judgment here, but I do not rely on the clicks and ad revenue from YouTube as a part of my financial portfolio to live on or anything like that. This is just strictly, in my sense, a hobby and a passion on the side. So I don't have to rely upon your clicks, your likes, your submissions, your PayPal donations, your Patreon donations. I don't have to rely upon that as a part of my lifestyle and my livelihood or my financial portfolio. So that takes away pressure, and I can actually focus on what I like. So when you see me doing reactions, if you see the reaction, if it's published, then that's something that I like. If I don't like the shit, I will not publish it, and I don't give a damn who you are. I don't care if you're a patron. I don't care who you are. If I don't like the shit, it's not being published on my platform. I am the gatekeeper, right? Because I don't care about your clicks, your whatever it is, or what you're sending me by way of Patreon or PayPal. If I don't like it, I don't publish it, right? So that's basically how I establish my platform where reactions are concerned. Every single reactor is different, and it's great for you, the viewer who has exposure to all of this. You can go from one to another, because pretty much all of my subscribers, I see them on other platforms, so they're not just subscribed to me, they're all over, right? And they're getting a different person's perspective and appreciation off of the same thing. Like the Led Zeppelin reactions, for example. I see different people from my subscription base on different channels, and they're getting a really different perspective from someone else, which is really good. It's good variety, it's good perspective, and it's good exposure. And it's exposing a lot of people, not just myself, to Led Zeppelin, for example. When I first started my channel, I'm like, I know Led Zeppelin, I'll do a couple of quads and stuff, and then I'll be on my way and I'm done. No. So I learned, I was exposed, and I learned that there was a lot more to him. And so it's cool to actually see someone else for the first time becoming aware of these guys. Oh, this goes beyond Black Dog and Stairway to Heaven. Man, never heard of In My Time of Dying, and you see them discovering it, and you see them formulating an appreciation and then becoming fans, and now they're promoting Led Zeppelin. You know what I'm saying? It's a really cool thing to watch that awakening factor in different reactors. So it's great, and I think that for established acts, new upcoming acts, reaction channels are a really, really good thing. And like this dude said, they're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. Now, I might check out, because I'm not going to be doing this shit forever, right? But my content will still be up unless my channels get blocked. But it's great, because as I take my exit, somebody else will come up, and so there's going to be hundreds and hundreds and thousands of reaction channels over the next couple of years. And that's good, because there's just so much music out there. Somebody's going to come along, and who's going to do a dedicated channel towards jazz, the blues, some of the old bluesmen from back in the day. You're going to have a dedicated channel doing Latino beats, the party jam, Soul Train. So you're going to get a variety of different things in the next little while. It's an exciting time, because as you're growing up, your scope is limited based on how you're brought up, where you are, all of these different things. So much can slip you by, right? And then you're like, oh my gosh, man. Just the other day, good example, Keep It Coming Love. It's a Casey and the Sunshine Band song. And I thought that I knew the Casey and the Sunshine Band hits very well. And how the hell did that one slip past, right? Or it's like a really good movie, you say to yourself, oh my gosh, man, when did this movie come out? It came out in 2001. How did this great movie slip past me? It's the same with music, right? So it's great to have reaction channels doing a variety of things, and that's the key. Do a variety of things and expose the new upcoming artists, shed light on the established artists, on things that you've missed, and it's all good. I think overall it's going to be really cool. Now, in regards to what Evelyn said to me, it was quite interesting that, hey, maybe this is the reason why your Led Zeppelin content is being unblocked. It could be, maybe somebody in the publishing world said, yeah, okay, this guy is actually showcasing Led Zeppelin in a decent light. He's not disrespectful. He's not swearing constantly and that sort of thing. So yeah, you know what? And he's got a great body of stuff here. So let's unblock a few things, right? Just Led Zeppelin alone on my classic rock platform, it's around 200 videos, man. And it isn't just the actual music, it's the documentaries, it's all of the different variety of different things. So maybe someone looked favorably upon me and said, yeah, let's unblock this stuff. Give him a holiday, a Christmas present, so it's, there's a couple of things that became unblocked, but primarily the bulk of it is Led Zeppelin shit. And just the other day, another 3 became unblocked. So I'm saying to myself, now I don't want to go rushing right away and publish them. I want to tread carefully because it's really, really, you just sneeze in the wrong direction and YouTube can block your ass. They could lock your channel down for a while. They can give you a community guideline strike. That shit will shut you down just as fast as any copyright. So I sit there and I think, let's give this a few days before I did make a decision on publishing this. But sometimes I lose out because some people said, damn, Wayne, you should have published that O2 Arena concert. That's what I really wanted to see. Go to my Vimeo, it's on there. Go to my public Patreon, it's on there. But where it comes to YouTube, yeah, there are some things that just won't get published. And if they do get published, I have to kind of hold off a little bit, see what the algorithm does, because it might only be available for an hour or two and then it gets blocked again. It's weird, man. Anyway, that's what's happening in the world. That's one of the big motivations for checking out this particular presentation. So Evelyn, thank you again for this, and hope you guys get some value out of it. If you have an interest in becoming a reactor, it's very, very good. It's very rewarding. It gives you good exposure to different things. Those are all the great pros. The cons, you have no idea how much work it takes. You gotta have some passion about it or you're gonna burn out real quick, right? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't care what anyone else says, there isn't a lot of money in it, right? There's very, very few of us who would be able to establish any kind of income from this and actually live off of it. So I'm telling you that right off the bat. Also, you're gonna get a shit ton of people throwing shit at you just because they're trolls, just because they want to see you fail, they want to see you, they want to do you harm, they're threaten you, they insult you, stuff like that. So there's that, right? And even though you consider yourself perhaps the nicest person in the world, somebody's gonna hate your ass. So there's a lot of things being a YouTuber, being a reactor that you're going to get. There's people out there who just make it their hobby just to contradict you. Oh, yeah. Well, you say Robert Plant is good looking. I say that he's not that good looking, just so that they can oppose you, right? If you say that the sky is blue, I say that it's gray. And you're going to get trolls like that. So you got to have a very, very thick skin. You got to utilize your block button. Block those bastards, right? Don't even give them another platform, because what they're doing is they're taking sunshine away from your viewers, and your viewers might not come back. So when you have trolls, give them a warning, or you don't even have to give them a warning. Just block them. Just block the trolls, block the fools, block the people who oppose you. If they even just get on your damn nerves on a constant basis, they're taking good energy away from you. Block them too, right? No tolerance, zero tolerance. So, but all that to say that it does have its rewards, it does have its pros and its cons, but you got to have a very, very diligent spirit, a very diligent pressing forward kind of thing. If you have a faint heart, do not become a reactor. You're not going to last more than a couple of months. Facts. So, with that said, Evelyn, back to you. You totally get me. You know what I like. There isn't a single thing that Evelyn has sent me. I'm trying to think, Evelyn, if there's something that you've sent me that I don't like. I can't think of anything you sent me that I don't like. You totally get me. So thank you very much, like I said, for all of your contributions to all of my platforms. I appreciate you very much. And you're one of the first people that I would actually do a feature on in regards to my supporters. I would like to get into a place at some point in time where I'm actually doing a feature on my supporters. There was a time when I would drive from Seattle and go all the way down to Jacksonville to see my buddy Jack. Now he's passed, but I had this fantasy vision of meandering down through the States and hitting up my Prime subscribers and my Prime patrons, meeting them, taking them out for lunch, spending a couple of hours shooting a video with them, something like that. I had that in my mind, and with Jack passing, it kind of knocked the wind out of my desire to do that. And I don't really have a big reason to drive all the way down. Now, Kel and Rich, they're down in Florida, and I want to get down there and see them one day. But I got to get that back, because with Jack passing, and then last year being last November being a really hard time, losing a bunch of military buddies, it's just changed me a little bit, right? So you got to kind of get back to ground. I was actually even thinking of shutting the channels down. I was just not in a good place. But what I'll do is I'll reconsider that, because I would like to shed a spotlight on some of the people who've been around for a while and who've supported me for a while. That would be really cool. I'm formulating some sort of a plan in my head. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna bounce. Have a good one. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some value out of it. And like I said, if you're ever interested in becoming a reactor, hit me up and ask me. Send me your email. I'll send you kind of like a little format of bullet points of how I did it, just like Pink Metalhead did with me. And and then you can kind of look at it and assess, holy shit, this is a lot of work, right? Just this video alone, what I'm doing, by the time I finished shooting it, editing, uploading and posting, 6 hours have gone by, right? So, and that's over the course of a day. Sometimes it takes me the course of a couple of days just to get this video to you. So reactors really have to think about all of these things. But that is the kind of stuff prospectively that I'll present to you. I might put it in the form of a book one day, put it up on Amazon, how I became a reactor, what I did, what it took out of me, what it cost me, the rewards, the benefits, all of that sort of thing, and break it down. I might do something like that one day. But anyway, I'm gonna bounce. So thanks very much. Have a good one. Take care. I hope you got some good value out of this. This was a great video. Got a good value out of it, and I definitely am more encouraged to keep doing what I do, how I do it, because my reaction style is very, very unique, and it's different from everyone else. And as you'll notice, the difference between me is a big one. You can see that I'm sitting on 20,000 subscribers. If I change the way I do things, immediately I would jump to 100,000 subscribers. But like I said, to me, I don't give a shit about likes, subscriptions, all of that sort of thing. I'm doing it for completely different reasons. Anyway, man, if you want to be a reactor, hit me up and I'll tell you exactly how I did it, okay? Take care. I'll see you later. Peace.